Every sport has its own myths and legends that make its athletes look like superheroes, but wait, what makes a fighter truly supernatural? A particular situation, the right altitude to fight in, or maybe a little bit of juice to fuel the engine. So in today's video, we'll uncover the myths around fighters who reach the supernatural level. Dropped Oliveira. Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, Michael Chandler are all the names who hit the hardest in the 155-pound division. They do hit hard, like freaking hard. Apart from that, they do share one more thing in common. They all lack the power to knock out lightweight kingpin Charles Oliveira. All these fighters were able to land and have quite a bit of success against the Brazilian. However, getting dropped only makes the fight that much worse. Much like Lucario in Super Smash Bros, the more Oliveira gets hurt, the more of a threat he becomes. This is a mythical fighter because he's shown in his last 3 fights that he can come back from any adversity, and he likes to live dangerously. Just look at the stats. Dude Bronx is on a 3-fight finishing streak, and he suffered a knockdown in all 3 bouts. His last win via decision was against Tony Ferguson, but he wasn't knocked down in that fight, so you can't argue with the science, and it makes this myth official. Dropped Oliveira is one of the most dangerous fighters the UFC has ever seen. No time limit Nate Diaz. Bar Josh Thompson, it's hard to say that Nate Diaz has ever lost a fight, but rather, he's only ran out of time. Nate's chin is stronger than Brock Lesnar's toothbrush. His gas tank has more volume than anyone in the sport, and he's never been mentally broken. See Nate's last fight where he took on a title contender, Leon Edwards. Though Diaz was outclassed for the majority of the fight, he never gave up. Come round 5, Diaz landed a left hand that hurt Leon and forced the whole crowd to their feet. Still not convinced? Well, let's look at the shots Diaz took in the first McGregor bout. Conor actually gassed himself while trying to knock out the Stockton Slugger. True to his name, Diaz kept walking forward like a zombie, finally put his foot on the gas pedal when the Notorious was rocked and tired. TRT Vitor. They don't get scarier than TRT Vitor. When Belfort was allowed to use TRT, which is testosterone replacement treatment, he propelled himself from a contender to a marauder. With lightning fast movements and beastly strength, TRT Vitor kept winning and winning. From spoiling Luke Rockhold's debut to rendering Bisping a one-eyed fighter, not many people were burning up the UFC's phones for a fight against the Brazilian. You're a brave man, Chris Weidman. Vitor's change in physique was pretty nuts too. He went from athletic dad bod to traps so big, I can't wear my headphones. Motivated McGregor. More confident and less rich, Conor McGregor, when at the peak of his career, was one of the most ferocious forces to ever storm through the UFC. His wit was sharper, his boxing deadly accurate, and his kicks were truly unpredictable. He would go on to win not 1 but 2 UFC golds, cementing himself as a king. When it pours, it usually rains, and this is exactly what happened with the Notorious one. McGregor's career took a drastic turn after the money came pouring in following the Floyd Mayweather saga. The Notorious went from taking any and all contenders at any weight and even accepting short notice fights to fighting once in a blue moon. They say it's harder to train when you're comfortable in life, and we're seeing that via Conor McGregor's career. And really, why should he fight? He's got money, success, a boat for each day of the month, and 4 cars for each boat. I don't know where this is going, but in most cases, a lifestyle like that won't lead you directly back to the octagon. Whether he returns or not as his motivated self is uncertain, but we're sure glad that McGregor is still a part of the sport. However, his hungrier version will continue to live on as one of the scariest mythical fighters in MMA history. Flyweight Shevchenko. Valentina Shevchenko is a bona fide legend who will certainly make her way in the UFC's Hall of Fame sooner or later. If we look past her last outing against Taylor Santos, which produced a razor-close decision win, the reigning female flyweight queen has been as dominant as a champ as anyone could possibly be. She's shut down all the second vet fighters and is usually done so with an air of invincibility, finishing fighters such as Jessica Andrade, Lauren Murphy, and Jessica Ai. Shevchenko really hasn't been too competitively matched up at 125 pounds, as she made it look all too easy. However, her run at 135 pounds just wasn't the same, as not once, but 2 times, the Bullet suffered heartbreaking losses against Amanda the Lioness Nunes. She even failed to capture the bantamweight gold. This certainly proves that her flyweight version is a mythical fighter indeed, and she is truly one of the greatest.